Alright, Cora, we are back for another D&D movie time. And you know what movie we're watching now?
Jurassic Park 2!
Yep. And this is one of JJ's favorite series.
Again.
You want to say anything to him now that you know ahead of time?
I'm just going to say what we did on the other video.
You don't want to give a special shout out to him?
I do, but it's just going to be the same thing we said on the other video.
Well, what? Maybe he forgot. You could be like, hi, JJ.
Hi, JJ.
Tell him, better be a good movie.
Better be a good movie.
Alright. So today we're looking at Jurassic Park, The Lost World. They didn't call it 2. They just called it Jurassic Park, The Lost World.
I'm so saying it.
Which is weird because the next one after this was just called Jurassic Park 3. And then they decided to completely change the titles and they went with Jurassic World after that for 4.
Jurassic Park 2!
Yep.
Jurassic Park 2!
And JJ, she's saying she better like this one.
2.
And there's a franchise you want JJ to watch, isn't there?
Yes.
What?
Jurassic Park.
He's already seen Jurassic Park.
Why Jurassic Park?
Don't you want him to watch these? He's never seen these.
Let me see. No, it's not how I see this.
So
Godzilla! Godzilla for King Kong!
no, that's King of the Monsters. That one's Godzilla versus Kong.
Godzilla for King Kong! Godzilla for the monsters!
So who would win in a battle between the T-Rex and Godzilla?
I will probably think Godzilla!
Yeah. Is Godzilla your favorite?
The lizard is.
That's Godzilla. What about Kong?
Actually, the monkey is.
But we're not talking about those movies today. Let me have them.
I'm keeping these up for JJ. That's why he can try watching these movies.
Yeah.
I'm keeping these up in the corner. If this is the corner.
As long as you don't go beyond the brown chair, because that's where the movie picture is next to you. So anyways, I guess we'll just jump right in. You're super excited to watch 2, right?
Yes.
All right.
Bye, movie.
Well, we'll see you after the movie.
Bye. JJ.
Before we get back to the review, I just want to let you know that we have finally hit 80 subscribers. So, as I do, whenever we achieve a goal of 10, I give away a free digital code for a movie. So, for this digital code, I'm giving away a copy of Moonfall. If you redeem this code, please let everyone know down in the comments below that the code is claimed. And now, let's jump right back to the review. Alright, Cora. So we just finished Lost World, Jurassic Park. Or as you like to call it,
Jurassic Park 2!
Okay. So, were you expecting that ending?
No, but that ending kind of reminded me of Godzilla!
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's in the cities. And he's like a dinosaur.
Yeah. Only he's like way, way, way bigger than a T-Rex. This is like a mini Godzilla.
Yeah.
Teeny tiny Godzilla.
Imagine imagine that dinosaur was Godzilla's pet or baby or kid. Yeah.
So, did you like this movie?
Yes, it kind of reminded me of Godzilla.
Did they bring back your favorite character, Ian Malcolm? Or did you like a different character?
I loved it all the characters in the main character.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
Of course, everything.
Well, of course you liked it all, but I'm saying, is there one part of the movie you really liked?
Everything.
Like that scene with the T-Rex when the mommy and the daddy come to get their baby and they push that trailer off the cliff? Did you like that part?
Yes, that kind of like kaboom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you were freaking out when she was on that glass and it was slowly breaking.
Yeah,
You were like, come on, come on, come on. You're getting so tense over it.
I was like, don't move! Don't move! Don't you dare move! You're going to die!
What'd you think of the upgraded raptors in this one? All the raptors that there were.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised of the tiny raptors like this tiny.
No, those weren't tiny raptors.
No,
Those were other dinosaurs altogether.
No, I mean those greens.
Yes, those are different dinosaurs. Those aren't raptors.
What they looked like raptors to me.
Raptors are the ones with those big claws on their feet. Anyways, as Daddy normally talks about with this movie, I don't like the fact that Nostalgia Critic got a couple things wrong in this movie. Which, when he reviews it, kind of goes to show, does he really pay attention to the movies he reviews? Because he said in the previous movie that only 3 people died. And then he tries to make a claim that it's 5 people, not 3. But we'd only know about 1 death.
And the rest left.
No. Okay, so basically what he tries to say is the guy at the beginning, Nedry, the lawyer, the hunter, and Sam Jackson's character, Mr. Arnold, the one that said, hold on to your butts. You know that guy? Well, anyways, thing is, though, the main characters would have only known about the hunter, the lawyer, and Arnold, Sam Jackson's character. They would have only known about him. They wouldn't have known about the possible guy at the beginning, and nobody knows what happened to Nedry. Since, like, his body was never recovered, you can't really say he's dead. We, as the audience, know that he's dead. But nobody ever went back to recover and found the body. So, they'll never know whether he's alive or dead. he got away as far as they're concerned. So that's why I said, and there's another thing, Nostalgia Critic says something about the daughter in this movie not being Jeff Goldblum's kid, or it doesn't make sense because it doesn't line up with the first movie, and I'm like...
Because it's not supposed to line up with the first movie. It's chapter 2 of the movie.
Yeah, but he's saying that the girl's a little too old to be Jeff Goldblum's daughter in this movie. That it doesn't make sense how he would have a daughter that old already. And it's like, well, if you paid attention to the first movie, he said to Dr. Grant that he's had many wives and a couple children. This is one of those children from one of his many wives.
Yes.
Duh. Right?
Yes.
And all you would have had to do is pay attention to the movie before you reviewed it and not half-assed your review, and you would have noticed things like that. Apparently, big name reviewers can't do a very good job. As I've constantly pointed out many times that the Nostalgia Critic and their team have completely half-assed a review. But anyways, let's move on to our final scores here on this one. What do you say?
A 10 out of 10.
This is 10 out of 10? I would give this a 9 out of 10.
Why? It was just like...
It was definitely better than the first one.
Why? It's just like the same score I give this.
It's definitely better than the first one. I gave the first one an 8, I think.
It's like the score I give to it on the first time of me watching the first movie on chapter 1.
Okay, go sit. You're gonna make... It's gonna look weird when I do that, because there's gonna be a movie right in your way.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's a movie right next to you. It's going to be all over the screen, even when you move right up to the camera.
Oh, hi, movie!
So anyways, like I said, I'm going to give this movie an 9 out of 10. You gave this a 10 out of 10. I definitely do like this one more than the first one, but only because of the fact it's going to be like always in front of you, Cora. It's not actually there. It's being put in after the fact. Anyways, you should know this by now. If anything, you can put your arm around it and make believe that's like your buddy. Now you're just touching it on its butt. You weirdo. Anyways. Okay, so just before I wrap up this video, and before I go, really think about who you watch review a movie. Take into consideration, are they even remotely a fan of the franchise that you're checking out? Even if you haven't checked it out yet yourself, really take into consideration. And a big example of what I mean is back during my Matrix reviews, I pointed out several flaws of the Nostalgia Critic. And those flaws that I pointed out, they were rather recent. I mean, when I say recent, I mean I recently discovered just how wrong he was. But this movie that we were reviewing today, Jurassic Park Lost World, this was one of the first, biggest, because I used to love Nostalgia Critic's channel, his episodes. I thought it was really good. But when I saw the review for Jurassic Park Lost World, something stood out to me. Now, I've already talked about in the previous video, and probably in this video too, a couple times, that he gets the count wrong. To a point. Here, I'll show you that clip right now.
You signed a non-disclosure agreement before you went to the island that expressly forbade you from discussing anything you saw. You violated that agreement.
Yeah, I did, and you lied. You twisted the facts surrounding the deaths of 3 people.
3? Well, that's great. A fucking scientist who can't count. Why did nobody believe him when he said there were dinosaurs again?
That's chaos theory.
Now, granted, as I've said in the past, yes, 5 people maybe died. And real quick, I'm just going to run through, since we're paused on that screen, I'm just going to really quick say, nobody knows that Nedry died. Nobody knows what happened to him. He's missing. As far as the world's concerned, he disappeared. But he's not exactly dead. No one's looking for him. No one cares. As far as John Hammond's concerned, he sabotaged the park and left. And nobody can get on there to find his dead body. He had to have a reason for sabotaging the park. So they probably think he was paid off by whoever that opposing company was that was trying to steal the embryos to begin with. Now, the other 3 characters, the lawyer, the hunter, and Sam Jackson's character, yes, everybody knows they died. Their deaths were probably reported. However, again, going back to that one at the very beginning, there is no consistent proof whether that character is alive or dead. Now, I don't know, maybe it's in the book. I have not read the John Grisham book. But in the movies, there's no evidence that he is dead. We are not told that that character died. And people have survived worse. Now, okay, you could chalk it up and say, well, Sean, it's all a matter of opinion. And Nostalgia Critic is entitled to his opinion but the opinion on this case is what I just showed you. He says Malcolm doesn't know how to count. And then proceeds to show these 5 people who died. And it's like, yeah, but Malcolm only knew for sure of 3 of them. He never met Nedry, never knew, what happened, and he probably doesn't know about the dude from the beginning, and was just told that there was an injury. That's why they were going out there. So, Nostalgia Critic is looking at it from the outside perspective. When you watch a movie, you cannot do that. You cannot take your outside viewer knowledge and expect the characters to know that inside. But moving on, there's another major problem. And the major problem is with Jeff Goldblum's children. I'm going to show you this clip from Nostalgia Critic's review.
We also come across Kelly, Goldblum's only daughter. Wait a minute, 1 daughter?
Got any kids?
Me? Oh, hell yeah, 3. I love kids.
What's with this idiot and numbers? What, first how many people die, now how many kids he has? I mean, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Now, I want to start by addressing the fact we never hear him say, ever, that she is his only daughter. Even if by some miracle, in the dozens and billions of times I probably watched this movie, I missed that, he says, and I quote, he has 3 kids and multiple wives. I'll play that clip for you now.
got any kids?
Me? Oh, hell yeah, 3. I love kids. Anything at all can and does happen. Same with wives, for that matter.
You married?
Occasionally. Yeah, I'm always on the lookout for a future ex-Mrs. Malcolm.
Okay, so Nostalgia Critic, did it not maybe dawn on you that maybe he has 1 kid per woman? And perhaps of his 3 kids, she is the only daughter he has. Perhaps he has 2 sons and 1 daughter. You know, something a person thinking logically, if that was the case, would have been able to figure out. And he never, ever describes the kids live with him as a person who clearly is a constant single bachelor. All the mothers probably have custody of the children. So that's why I tell you, and I've said this in my Matrix reviews that we did, be careful who you listen to when listening to a review. You know, I really pay attention to the movies I watch. I pick up on all these little things. That's why with Star Wars, it really upset me so much that people were hating on Episode 7, Episode 8, and Episode 9. Granted, were they perfect films? No. But ever since 8 kind of dived, because I'll admit, when I saw Star Wars Episode 8, I was like confused. I had to process. I needed time. I needed to see the movie again. I needed to hear things. I needed things to come out. And it finally did. But by that time, people were just going, oh, Rey's a Mary Sue. She's just a perfect because she's a woman. No. First off, if you pay attention to the movie, it's telling you stuff before you see it. Now, granted, like I've said in my Star Wars reviews or videos on Star Wars, which I haven't done one in a long time, there is dialogue that points this stuff out. And no, it's not as clear and cut as Luke saying, I'm a pilot. You know? And Han was supposed to just take Luke at his word that he's a pilot. Yeah, granted, he shows it off later. But in Episode 7, we needed that information, and we got that information. There is a lot of subtext in Episode 7. Just like in Jurassic Park. There is subtext from the first movie, a minor, tiny little conversation, which leads you to understand the premise of the next movie, why his daughter is involved. So, again, before we go back to the review, I just want to say, please, consider who you're really trusting with a review. I like Nostalgia Critic, but he does not really like a lot of the movies, I guess, that he reviews, and therefore he does not pay full attention, to these movies. And not just him, there are many reviewers out there who will try to use the excuse, oh, well, I turned my reviewer brain on and I look at it from a review. No. If you're doing that, if that's your excuse, you're not paying attention to the movie. You're not listening to to the story being told to you. There is stuff that is shown and there is stuff that is told. You know, CinemaSins, they do this a lot. They rip on movies for having exposition. Well, guess what? If we didn't have exposition, we don't have setup for the things that are coming later. So, there's a reason why exposition exists. There's a reason why little minor tiny things are key details for future things. And if you miss those things, you're going to miss out. In Nostalgia Critic's point, he really obviously doesn't care for Jurassic Park at all because he didn't want to pay attention before he decided to make a public review that was going to get watched by millions or thousands of viewers. So, I hope for any fans of Nostalgia Critic, I'm sorry, but that is, I showed you the evidence that he's not right all the time. And, yeah, so let's just go back to the review now. So, we're going to get ready to check out the next one. We hope you'll join us as we continue on with our Jurassic Park series.
Like, comment, subscribe.
What should they comment on?
They should comment about liking this movie and loving this movie.
Should they comment about what their predictions are for the final movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Alright. Well, you heard her.
And how are they going to think what's going to happen in the movie?
The thing is, though, the reason you're giving this a 10 out of 10 and I'm only giving it a 9 out of 10 is because I grew up with this one, too. This one didn't come out too long after the first one. Mm-hmm. And honestly, although I do like it a little bit more, I just think that, you know, I've had years to adapt to it. You're seeing this for the first time today. So in time, you might change your mind and it might go down a little bit for you. Or after we're all done, it might go down a little bit. But anyways, like she said, like, comment, subscribe. And we will catch you all in the next video.
Bye.